Hi, welcome to another training movie for Canto Roboflow. In this training movie, we'll focus on working with table fields and trying to fix a problem that table fields offer in Cumulus. If you have a table field, for instance, called runs, then in the client you can go in and edit this. But if you want the users to be able to do that from sites or from the Cumulus web client, there is no way that you can allow them to edit these items. Well, in reality, there is. What I did is I have here a couple of fields, and I created those same fields but with a prefix so that I could identify them as selected. Selected on sale, selected run, selected destination, etc. For me, my unique identifier is the run. And I created another field called select run in which I added all the potential runs. The behavior I want is that in sites or in Cumulus web client, you can simply say, I want to select the values for August clearing. And I save it. And within a few seconds, it will automatically load the settings for August clearing. So you can see it was one that did not exist. So it has loaded those and those settings with initial values. Now, if I say test Peter and I'm selecting a value, I can here now say, okay, I want, for instance, here this and there, and so that's my values. Now all I have to do is save, and I will notice here that within a couple of seconds these values will be updated. I keep track of my changes in a log field, but that's not mandatory. That's just a security precaution telling you, okay, at that moment in time you saved modifications in this table. How does he know that he has to modify something? Well, I added to one or more of these fields a selection. So if a listener, a trigger, so if I change this value, I say save, within a few seconds it will update it. If I want to work on another set of values, I can say now I want to work on the Christmas one settings. So within a few seconds it will automatically load the Christmas settings. Of course, I have to click on the save button, and now it has loaded the Christmas settings because it didn't exist. Test Christmas. Oh, I didn't click. Test Christmas. Christmas, yes. And I'm putting just some values here. 500. I'm clicking on save, and you notice that Christmas already exists here, and he saves it back in here. How does it work? Well, I can have a look here, and in the catalog, first of all, I added a trigger. As I said, you should add for every individual field that can modify, you should set this, and this outputs stores the fact that this record was changed for this value, an XML file. It's a Roboflow trigger. It stores that in a Roboflow trigger folder. Then I created two workflows. The first workflow is a hot collection template workflow that I run every 5 seconds. The query is on the catalog, or could be multiple catalogs just separated by semicolons, and I'm saying if the field select run has a value, that means that the user is asking me to load a value set from the table. And then in the workflow I store that run. I open that run table, that specific field runs, that table field, and in that table field I do a search on the value run for the selected run. If it finds it, it stores the individual values of those fields into local variables in that I can address as tags, and then here if it tests if it found an item to run. If it found an item to run, it will store these item values in a string, and if it didn't find them, it will create an item in that table, which I call item run, and it will store that in the run field, which is my unique identifier for those table rows, the selected value. And the values that I will set afterwards is the initial values for a new records. I'm saving this to the individual selected fields of the record itself, and then I'm storing the value of my current log field, and then I'm adding a new log value and setting this here to the logs. So in my log I add that value, and I close my table runs table that I opened. So that's how it gets loaded. The second workflow is the one that saves it back. This workflow looks for a selected run that has a value, and the selected run that does not have a value. There's no value selected because I don't want to conflict with the first workflow. But this query is only executed on top of the triggers it finds. So whenever I modify a field, it creates an XML file in a predefined folder. That predefined folder, I can show you that predefined folder is here, and that is right inside the application of Roboflow. And then what I do here is I get the current log field value because I want to add it again to the log. Should it fail, I will or not be executed, I will do something like this, a default text. I check if the record is locked because in this example I'm also building in the feature that locked values cannot be changed. And then you can see that I'm picking up the individual field values from the record now. And after that I'm again opening the table and searching in that table. So here I open the table, I create the values that I want to set in a long tab limited string. As you know, you can set multiple values by separating them by a tab here, and then I'm just setting that value. So the run field, on sale field, destination field, I'm just setting those values. And then I create my log message saying, okay, this run was saved, and I'm storing that also in the log value field. So that's how easy and quickly you can create such a workflow. It enables you to nicely work with the individual fields in your Cumulus catalog in client or in sites or in WebClient, doesn't matter. If you allow people to make the changes, the workflow will automatically write back these changes to the catalog within a few seconds time. So here you see the changes are already in there. If you want to load a different set to work on, just select it, and a few moments later it will have loaded those new settings. So that's it. That was another training movie for Roboflow. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. Have a nice day.